and how to finish games. You don't come down and throw a lob pass out of bounds and throw a deep pass out of bounds and shoot a quick three with 2 minutes to go, drive the wrong way. We're running offense. You dribble the ball out of bounds? Why'd you do that? Well, I was trying to. Whoa. In no uncertain terms, I let him know that ain't happening. Because in an SEC game, it's an 8-point game. You lose the game in 2 minutes because you do your own thing. You play to win. That means massage the clock, score at the buzzer, shot clock, and what's their team do? It's ball game. The drive Billy had that threw it to Adu. That was like the dagger we haven't had. How many of you thought at halftime this may be the worst shooting team I've ever seen? Some of you, right? And the hard thing, like all kind of teams in the country right now are not making threes. Making three, making four, like we have been. But when you're coaching, you challenge them because you want to put pressure on them. Because when they get in the game, there's going to be pressure on them. But for this team, the way we drive the ball, if it's contested at all, you should never shoot it. We're not a great three-point shooting team. If it's contested at all, you should drive the ball. If it's not contested inside out, or you're 7'2" and they can't get to it. What I did find out today, which I kind of knew, I hate that, but Z's probably got to take 5-6 threes a game. Would you say? If you're watching it. But the end of the game, I was not happy at all. Second half, again, for me as a coach, shooting 29%, and if we make the free throw, it's tied at half. Do you know how happy that makes me? That means we created some baskets. That means we defended them, and we fought them to keep them at bay. And if you watch this, you had to say these kids played hard. They played extremely hard. We ended up having 7 players. So this week, we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to put the zone in, like our own zone. Why would I go to zone? We got basketball bennies in here.
You can't afford to get in foul trouble.
There you go. We're in foul trouble, and I don't have any subs. Better go zone. But you better not just say, yeah, just stand there and wave your arms. We need to teach them how to play the zone and how we would play it, which again, after the game, I also told them, look, as much as I'm getting on you right now, I said, how much have we scrimmaged this whole season? They looked at each other like, not much of it. Like, have we? We had 5 guys for 2.5 weeks. Then we had 7, 8 guys. You can't really scrimmage. And when you use GAs like we were, understand what the rule is. You can't scrimmage. You can only do drills. So you could go up, back, up, stop, back, stop. That's all you can do. You can't scrimmage. So hopefully Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can work a little bit and all the things that I've seen. And again, let me say this. Why would we scrimmage Lips or play Lipscomb and these guys? It got to be easier teams out there to play. But you know what? We needed it because I got to learn about these guys, and we're all together for the first time. And it's more about the process than the results, even though, like at Baylor, I would have rather have won a close game and learned that we really got work to do. But you lose. But it's more the process than it is just plain result.
It's prediction day, talking high school, state football, SEC football, big games in the SEC. Your beloved Razorbacks are going to be in a really big one. A lot of big-time high school state playoffs. We got our guy Aaron Rags in the house. I'm telling you, before we get started, if you are at around any location of CMAC Southern Kitchen, make sure to go in and tell them you heard us. You heard this on the Hill Media, and you will receive a 25% discount on your meal at any of the 4 locations. Here at MLK, 7420 West Sunset, 909 South Thompson, and right off of Highway 412 in Siloam Springs. If you go in and say you just heard this mention on the Hill Media, there will be a 25% discount for you and your meal. So be sure to get on in there because it's made with love, Southern at heart, and it is just that good. As you can tell, my guy's right here.
I'm done.
He's already done.
I'm out of there. I'm gonna see what D gonna lead me over there when he get done.
Hey, D loves this place. We were on the show yesterday, Demetrius and I, and he had the same thing. It's just really good food: catfish, shrimp, chicken. He's got the the basket. You want to come in and they have that. They have C-Mac burgers. They have fried tacos, and they fry their shells themselves. They have po' boy sandwiches, wings. I mean, what do they not have?
Yeah, I got everything.
Street corn, mac and cheese. I mean, and the
everything.
Hush Puppies are just some of the best I've had in a long, long time. So make sure to come down and say you heard it on the Hill Media, the advertisement, and then they will award you the 25% discount. But, hey, guys, let's get on into it. SEC football.
Yeah.
Old school, Hogs and Horns, 11 a.m. kickoff at Donald W. on Saturday. Who wants to take that first? Expectations, and, I mean, if you're Arkansas, how big is this game as far as not just win but gut check time?
I mean, I think it's big for, gut check and morale. I mean, after last week or a couple weeks ago against Ole Miss, that 11 a.m. start, rainy, cold, and you really got blasted from the sound of the first whistle. Right. So you want to come out and just show that you're here, you're ready. You shouldn't need anybody to get you up for this type of game. So I expect them to be ready to rock and roll at 11 o'clock.
To me, Pat, I think this is a recruiting game. I think if you're a young man watching this Arkansas versus Texas game, you're seeing how competitive Arkansas can be with the top, echelon of SEC powerhouse teams. When you talk about the LSUs, you talk about the A&Ms, you talk about Texas, you talk about Alabama. You can arguably say we only played good in one of those games, and that being Texas A&M. So to me, when you look at this Texas game, it's huge from a brand standpoint, and also, like, again, if you're coming in a young man house that has offers from these other schools, how do you fare? And I think if you can come out of this game just showing, hey, we're only a few pieces away. Hey, we're only two linemen away. We're only a receiver away. We're only – that's that C-Max right there. Yeah. You're a linebacker away. You're a DB from being away from really competing at that top echelon. And I think that to me is the takeaway from this game. No, I don't think this is a game that Arkansas can win, but I think this is a game that they go in. I think it's one of those games that you're vouching for a high bowl game. You're vouching for, hey, man, we may have lost these X amount of games, but look at the quality level of team that we are in hopes of playing a worthy opponent in the bowl game. Because, I think now we're talking recruiting for next year. I think this year is kind of is what it is, but I think these last couple of games are what's going to fuel that recruiting.
Yeah. I just think what it is, will we see the Tennessee Arkansas, or will we see the LSU Ole Miss Arkansas? Yeah. I think that's where we at. And then also football is all about matchups. If there's any sport that really matchups matter, football is the ultimate sport. And I think Arkansas does match up better versus Texas than they did LSU or Mississippi. So when you get your butt kicked, and that's exactly what happened. Let's call it like it was. They got their butt whipped and handed to them. Now the character and, how do you feel in your competitive? We're going to find out a lot about this football team, in particular that back end. That's the one that I think has to come out and play football because, let's face it, guys, if you're Texas and Sarkisian, who's a great offensive coordinator, you're going to think that you can just pitch and catch like Ole Miss and LSU both did. And even if you look at it, Mississippi State to some degree pitching calls. So that's an area of concern. And then you just got to man up on the offense and defensive lines. When Arkansas has beaten Texas, if you go back and look at the games they've won, and that's all the way back to the Texas Bowl, Arkansas won the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense.
Straight over.
And that's what's going to have to happen on Saturday. The crowd, I think, is going to have to be a major, major, major factor. And if they don't turn the football over, I think that they'll have a chance. Do I think Arkansas – I'm not – for the first time might give a little hint. I might not pick the Hogs today.
Oh man.
Ooh wee.
Might not pick the Hogs
That'll
today.
be a first.
What?
Since,
But I
don't
do
know when.
think if they can be competitive, and I mean, it's going to take almost a perfect game to win on Saturday. I mean, that's
Not
just the way
almost,
it's going
Pat.
to be.
It's gonna take a
gonna
perfect-
take a really
perfect game from
Really
the
good
coaches
effort.
on down to the
Green,
players.
21 or 27, like. I mean, it's going.
But when you look at it, though, I mean, I say with
But
all
also
that's
we need
going on
running.
in this conference, I mean, there's no undefeated team. I mean, and a lot of teams still yet plan to be in the SEC championship and even go further, getting in that playoff 12. Anything can happen, especially on the road. I mean, this is a road game.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned that, nobody's really talked about this side of it, but this could potentially be a trap game for Texas with what's looming for the rest of their schedule with, them and Texas A&M only having one loss and meeting at the end of the year, which will potentially be for a spot in the SEC championship, I believe, especially if Texas win this week. But this could be one of those games to where they come in a little sluggish and Arkansas can kind of catch them sleeping. I ain't going to pick Arkansas. I don't know. Let me worry about that here in a few minutes.
Hey, we just give you a little bit. We'll come back here later in the show and talk even more in depth and give you those SEC picks. But, hey, we're going to take a real quick break. Arkansas High School football state
Coming up
playoff
next.
starts tomorrow. And our guys, Rags Report,
Ags report.
hey, he
Coming
going to
with
get
it.
us set up.
Coming with it.
It's on the hill, and it's talking season. We'll be back.
Bound. Dive on the floor, 3 different guys, hit heads to try to get the ball. 50-50 balls, they get 70 of them, 70% of them. And if they're making shots, now we wore them out, which is why we picked up, just to get to their legs. Because if they're making threes, doing what they're doing defensively, and it was a little bit of a rugby match. Come on now. I mean, you drove and you got pushed. Well, I didn't know where the contact came. Well, my guy was pushed out of bounds. You think he pushed? What are you talking about? That game, and then our guys had to get physical. I said, whatever they're doing to you, do to them. Whatever it is. Don't come over and say they're pushing. Push them. Push them back. They were good. Scott, he does a great job.
Coach DJ had 5 assists, 4 steals, and just 1 turnover, but 0 points. I mean, what would you assess how he's kind of settling in here, and not only just tonight, but the whole season so far with his play?
He's one of the greatest kids that I've ever coached. He is a player that plays to win, but we need him to score baskets too. I told him the best shot he has is a floater. Why do you go all the way to the rim and it gets blocked? I'd rather you shoot the floater. Just boom, let it go. He shoots it high enough. And he's another one. I have no question. I mean, if you remember the game at Kentucky where Arkansas came in, he made 4 threes in that game. I mean, he's capable. He's not doing it right now. But he and Boogie give
And
you
welcome
2
back
really
live
good
to
guards.
CMAC Southern Kitchen. We're located down here at 2190 MLK Boulevard. If you want to come on down and get you some food, just let them know you heard this advertisement on the Hill Media, and they will grant you that 25% discount. Yes, I said 25% discount. And if y'all like me, every little bit's going to count. I mean, every little dollar I can save in my pocket and get this type of food, I'm all in. So if you want to come down at any location, let them know you heard it on the Hill Media and tell them about the 25% discount advertisement, and they will get you taken care of. But alongside of me, my guy,
What's up?
the high school guru, the man with the plan, and giving us all knowledge. You'll see throughout all of our broadcasts on the Hill Media, Fayetteville Bulldogs football. You get those updates, and this is our guy, Aaron. State high school playoff start.
Man, it is time. It's time. It's that time, when the leaves start changing and everything start feeling a little bit right. Granted, we're a little bit hotter than what we usually is, but we can't beat that at all. I'm gonna dive right into it, man. I got to look over this for the last couple of days and just kind of pick my places where I wanted to go. A lot of it is kind of already set. I mean, there's really a top 4 teams as far as in the 7A when you go with Conway, Bryan, Benville, Fayetteville, and it's pretty much the rest. In the 7A, I mean, the only really surprise team that I see is Pulaski Academy that's playing on that first round. I don't really see a lot of upsets anywhere in the first round, especially in the 7 or 6A. I think PA could challenge Fayetteville, but like they've shown against better teams, is they're in it for about a half, and then that second half, the other team has been able to kind of show that they're superior. So I really see the Big Four being in the conference finals. Conway and Bentonville, Bryan and Fayetteville, and it really could be a toss-up right there.
With Grayson Wilson playing, I mean, and this is the all Arkansas commit quarterback at Conway. He's been out the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Hadn't been a factor. Didn't play in last week's game against Bryant. The word is he will be back into the playoffs. Now, how much does that change that side of the bracket? Because if they continue to take care of business, and so does Bentonville. Conway's beat this Bentonville team earlier in the year.
They beat them.
At Conway. Now, if you flip the script,
Yeah.
how much does Wilson playing and having that 2 seed give Conway a chance to get all the way to Little Rock?
Well, I think once we get to that point, the seeds won't really matter because all 4 of these teams are fairly similar. They've had success on each side of the ball. They've had success in their conference the last couple of years. You had Fayetteville and Bentonville in the championship last year. Conway's been in the semifinals the last few years. Bryan's been running the conference in the last decade. So it's one of those almost like you kind of can pick your poison
Right.
on. Fayetteville having to travel to Bryan's going to be a pretty big travel, and Conway coming to Bentonville is going to be a pretty big travel. But I think mentally these kids are really ready for these type of games. They've been in these type of games the last 2 or 3 years. The seniors on each 4 of those teams.
You want to get off into some picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Give us that first. Give us the 7A journey and how week 1 lines up.
So we got Springdale and Cabot.
I'm taking Esdale. I'm
Yeah,
taking Esdale
yeah,
to get their first win at home since 2005.
Yeah, Springdale. I mean, it's Springdale's gonna get that first win, I believe, and they're gonna have to go to Bryan in
Yes.
a tough environment. So I think Coach Hobbs gonna have them ready. They're gonna be pumped up, even no matter who they're playing. They're gonna be pumped up and be ready to play. So we got Little Rock Christian and Bentonville West.
Woo! This out of the early first round games might be that one. To me it's a pick 'em. And I tend to lean a little bit toward West, but I'm being biased. I want to root for the Western side, so that's probably the reason I'm gonna take the Wolverines. Just on, I just know more than them being in the conference.
Yeah.
It is kind of a big jump having Little Rock Christian come up. So I'll take West. D, what you got?
I can't. They don't look anything like they did last year.
Okay.
Last year they had a few more playmakers Bentonville West did, and they were actually able to go down to Conway and make it a game for 3 quarters in that quarterfinal. But this year they just have not had the horses to compete. Little Rock Christian is just one of those teams that they also are trying to figure out a way to compete in the 7A. They have some players, but they don't have enough.
No.
But I do think they have enough to get over Bentonville West on Friday.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Who we got after that?
We got PA and Harbor.
Oh, well, I already know how all
Yeah,
that's
that's
going to go.
Yeah,
It's not a matter of this. It's just a matter of how
PA
much.
will see you in Fayetteville next week.
Yes, how much will they win? So we're expecting the Bruins of Pulaski Academy. Do you with PA too? Okay,
Yeah.
we concur.
Then we got Rogers and Little Rock Southwest.
I'm going with Rogers
all day.
I'm going with Rogers.
I mean, and that sets up a really, really kind of interesting matchup, Rogers and Conway.
Woo.
And
Rogers going back to get put out by the same team that did them that way last year?
Well, yeah, but also, I can see a scenario where Rogers can keep themselves in that game, especially with Wilson. It's still another week off for him this week. And you can't simulate game speed.
No.
Especially when you're coming off an injury and things like that. So, that first hit against Rogers, we'll be able to tell how that game will be able to go.
Right. D, where you going with that game? Where you going? Yeah, you got to take the Mounties in that one.
Yeah.
You
all
got to
day.
take the
Yeah,
Mounties.
I like them. I'll go Rogers.
Which leads us into the second round, which is the quarterfinals. That's when it really gets going.
So you'll have Benville and Springdale, or no, Bryan and Springdale.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bryan there.
Take the Hornets.
Yeah, Fayetteville, PA, and I'm gonna take the Purple Dogs.
I'll take the Purple Dogs.
Then
D,
we'll
where you
have,
going on those two quarterfinal matchups? Bryant and got the Dogs.
And then we'll have Benville and Christian, Little Rock Christian.
I'll take Beeville.
Yeah, and then we'll have Rogers and Conway.
I'm gonna go
That's probably
with
the best one
Conway.
right there.
That's probably the best game.
Yeah,
Of
but
the,
I'm gonna go
of
with
the
Conway
week.
too. That'd be a.
I'm
that'd
gonna go
be a
with
really
Conway.
good one.
Woo! I'm gonna go with Conway
No.
simply because they have them at home, and I think having Wilson that does change
Mm-hmm.
the perception of
Yeah.
them and what their outlook going into the state
What
playoffs.
they actually are able to do
Yeah.
offensively.
So we get done with that, and then we move on to the semifinals. Day after they eat that turkey,
Yeah.
what we got?
It'll be Conway at Benville, and it'll be Fayetteville at Bryant.
Woo.
Man, that's where it gets a little. You can corn flip it. I'll go out on a limb, and I can't say this Benville team has really, really impressed me after their non-conference season.
Right.
To kind of keep it going. Granted, they played a Fayetteville team that Fayetteville had a lot of unforced errors and things that they did on their own self. But also, Benville came in with a game plan and executed it perfectly, and was able to jump out to a 20-0 lead and didn't have to look back at all. So I'm gonna go with a rematch of last year. Benville versus Fayetteville.
Okay, D, what you got? How you going in that one? Bentonville, Conway, Fayetteville, Bryant. Who's gonna make the state championship?
I can't believe I said it though. But
Four
I'm
blue
gonna go with
bloods,
it.
the four
Yeah,
true blue
yeah.
bloods in the big classification in this state.
Honestly, I can't bet against Purple Dogs just because they're the returning
Yeah.
state champions, and it's crazy not to bet against them. And I really haven't watched enough Bryan football, but what I will say, I think it's going to be all depending on Fayetteville's turnovers. I'm not saying who, because at times they have problems holding on to the ball
Right.
in the rushing attack, and then sometimes you see them have a couple of turnovers in the air raid.
Right.
So, again, I think the key to it is going to be turnovers with that Fayetteville game, but because they're the returning state champions, I'm gonna have to go Fayetteville Bulldogs. And just because I want to see this rematch, I thought the first game was a fluke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that didn't but that game was not a true depiction of that Fayetteville
Right.
Bulldog team. And I would like to see a rematch as well, Benville versus Fayetteville in the state championship to even out that score.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna deal with the first game. I'm gonna go with Bentonville Conway. I do think Conway will go on the road and beat Bentonville at home with Wilson as their quarterback. I think Conway will advance solely on the quarterback. He'll be the best player on the football field that particular Friday night. And then with Fayetteville, I mean, when you talk about state championships and championship pedigree and culture, Bentonville and Fayetteville, I mean, Bryant and Fayetteville have to be two of the three when you talk about top blue bloods in the state. I mean, these guys win, and they win at a high level, great coaching staffs. Year two with Coach Quan, Quan down there at Bryant, I mean, kind of rough last year, but this year seems to be on good traction. I think right now, and I've told people this, I think Fayetteville makes the state championship because I do believe it's the old school saying, defense does win championships. And we saw last year in their championship drive, it was the defense on the field. Every single final drive, and they got it done. And last week, how many people have you seen hold Harbor? And I know Harbor's not the team that's 10-0, but they have put a lot of points on people this season. For Fayetteville to go in the rain, Demetrius and I were there, and it was pouring down rain to hold that team to 51 yards and 7 points. It was a team I thought played the best complimentary football they played all year. Yeah. And that's the scary part. Fayetteville, to me, is just now getting ready to ramp it up. So I'm going to say what I said before. I've seen it in the semis so many times. I've seen it in the quarterfinals. Me and my guy here, I want to see this game in the state championship. They're going to take it a step further.
Okay.
The Wampus Cats and the Bulldogs will finally play for the state championship. And we'll have Conway Fayetteville 6:30, December 7th.
Okay,
It'll
Pat,
be that night
like
game. So
Nice.
that's what I'm going
That'd
with.
be nice. That'd be nice. I guess we can run down a couple more of them. I looked over the other ones, other classifications. We got a few teams in the area that's in these other ones. I mean, 6A is generally Greenwood versus everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
They're on a collision course with Benton. Only team I got a couple speed bumps that could potentially derail that. Lake Hamilton's got a pretty good squad. Shiloh's on the other side of the bracket, who are, they went to the state finals last year in the 5A. So they do have that experience of being able to go to the state title game. Then a sneaky Mount Home team who kind of kept the game somewhat close, but ended up getting steamrolled by Greenwood last week actually. So I mean, it's Greenwood and everybody else in the 6A.
So let's get going.
Yeah,
How we rolling this week?
I'm going with let's see what we got for the 6A over here. Where we at?
He's always prepared. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to get it on here. Where we at? There we go.
Moving real quick. Well, I know we can all agree early that Greenwood will be one of the picks for.
Oh yeah, Greenwood.
So we'll just
sure.
pick Greenwood all the way through.
Greenwood, yeah, we didn't have to worry about the other ones. We already know. And if you have to play in Greenwood, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's Greenwood, and who will show up in Little Rock to play Greenwood?
So on the other side, we ain't even gonna worry about the Greenwood side. You got Lake Hamilton and Jonesboro in the beginning. I'm gonna go Lake Hamilton.
Yeah, I'll go Lake Hamilton, D. Lake Hamilton.
Lake Hamilton.
All right.
And Marion and Van Buren, and Marion's
I'll
home team,
take
so
Marion in that one.
So then we got Benton and Lake Hamilton, and
I'll go Benton.
yeah, same here on that one. And the other one is going to be Shiloh and Marion, which I will go Shiloh on that.
I'll go Marion in
You
that
gonna go
one.
Marion?
I'm going to go
Go
Marion in
Marion?
that
Okay.
one. I'll go Marion in that
So
one.
we got Benton and Marion, and if we're doing that, then it's definitely going to be Benton and Greenwood.
I think I'm going
Benton.
Benton. I'm going to go
Benton,
Marion
Greenwood.
and Greenwood in the state championship.
Okay.
I'm going to go
All right.
Marion and
Stepping
Greenwood.
up.
D, where you going?
You say
Marion.
Greenwood?
I'm going Marion and Greenwood in the 6A state championship.
I'm gonna go Greenwood.
Versus Greenwood JV.
I'm gonna go Benton. I'm gonna go Benton.
Going Greenwood and Benton as well. Let's get off into some 5A.
5A now. We got a really good team out of Farmington right now. That I really think this year, as any year that they've won their conference and gotten a good seed in this playoff, they really got a good bracket. I believe they really got on the side where they avoid Little Rock Parkview.
But real quick, like you said, now you said that's just go ahead and do just what we did with Greenwood. Let's move Parkview all the way to the state championship and just assume that they'll take care of business.
I want to say assume, but at the top of that bracket, they got a real – there's just one high school in Arkansas right now that's really starting to take off like crazy. They've gotten crazy amount of baseball prospects, and their football team
You must be talking about Maumelle.
No. Their football team's been taking off the last couple of years. They had a guy, linebacker, that went to Missouri. Talking about Valley View High School.
Okay.
And they've been really, 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 really good the last couple of years, and they're undefeated again.
Good point.
They're on the same side as Parkview, and I'm telling you right now, if Parkview going to this game and they overlook Valley View,
Right.
Valley View will run them over.
Right. Okay.
So I do think in the semifinals on the Parkview side, they might have a little test in Valley View. And also there's another sneaky team in the 5A and on that side of the bracket, and it's Morrilton.
Yeah.
The Devil
yeah,
Dogs.
The Devil Dog.
They got a quarterback that can throw it all over the field.
Yes, he can.
And if you're not going to cover and you're going to let that offensive line give them enough time, good luck.
Good point.
So I don't want to I'll go ahead and put Little Rock Parkview in the championship, but they got a couple roadblocks that they're going to have to kind of jump over.
So who I know, let's get the lower side of that.
Yeah, now the
the
lower
side
side
that
of
the
it.
Cardinals are on.
Now the lower side of it, you got a couple scrappy teams. You got a team that really, really can put some points on the board in Hot Springs Lakeside. One of my sleeper sneaky teams, or two of them, are going to be both lower seed teams. There's going to be one, Camden, who scored an upset in the 5A playoff last year over Farmington.
Right.
And then another one is Valona,
Right.
who beat Little Rock Mills in the first round of the 5A playoff last year. They both are on the road. Valona has Joe T. Robinson, and Camden goes to Hardin Academy. Both who traditionally have had really good years. Hardin was really good last year.
Always good
They had a
program.
really good linebacker in Wyatt Simmons last
Yes.
year. So you have to be careful with that. But I really see this breaking down of being a Farmington Hot Springs Lakeside semifinals.
That's what I have. Who's going to make the state championship? I got Parkview and Hot Springs Lakeside. That's who I have.
I'm going to go with it, man. I'm going to go with Farmington.
You going to go with Farmington?
I'm going to go with Little Rock Park.
The Tommy Tysons make it in year one.
I just think it's something going on over there.
Okay, the Birds.
I'm not, and a lot of people had a lot of questions in the beginning of the season. There was a lot of different
that quarterback
reports.
Lester's special.
Yeah, there was a lot of different
good.
reports on who's going to do this, who's going to do that, and they finally settled on Coach Tyson, and they've really, really responded well around him. And a lot of people have a lot of questions about it.
I like Farmington as well. They're a program.
Whoa! So you see what they just did?
Yeah.
I picked the Shocker in the 7A, and all these dudes did was pick the Shocker to meet Parkview in the 5A.
I just think this year, and then the way the bracket is set up, Farmington really, really has a really good shot this year. Than any other year that they've been in the 5A.
And you know, one of the funny things that when I look at the playoffs, a lot of the teams that we're picking are going to have to be road dogs to get to that championship game. A lot of those semifinal matchups, you'll see the teams that we pick, they're going to be in that white jersey and be on that visitor side a lot. 4A state championship, just get those two. I'm putting Elkins there. I'm going to go ahead and say I think the Elks have what it takes. Who will they play when we get there? I'm going to say Warren.
Well, that's the thing. The 4A playoffs are just kind of crazy.
Really
3 of the top 5 teams are all on the same bracket.
Which is crazy.
You know, the number 1 seeded team doesn't even get a bye.
Yeah, they got to go.
You know, like, and then you're robbed of the best matchup in 4A would be Elkins versus Little Rock Mills, and you get robbed of that being in the state championship game with however they do this whole 4A classification. But I mean, Elkins and Little Rock Mills has a pretty much clear shot to play each other in the semifinals.
Well, I'm gonna go Mills. And who we got in the semis? So Elkins and Mills. I'm taking Elkins in that game.
Yeah.
Who's another semifinal?
And that's the thing that's the thing. There's literally nobody else over there. You got an Arkadelphia team that's a veteran team. They're always in the mix.
Yeah.
Now another team that's undefeated right now, Southside Batesville. They've been kind of running up a lot of wins the last couple of years in the 4A, but they've never been able to get over that hump. I would be real with you. On that other side, I have no idea who will come out of that. That really could see a 4 seed come out of that side and be playing for the state championship. So I really think in that semifinal game, Elkins versus Mills, who I think it'll be, that's really for the championship. All
right, so real quick before we get into our SEC picks, let's pick our state champions out of those particular divisions. 7A, we picked. You had Fayetteville, Bentonville. You had Fayetteville, Bentonville. Who you got winning the state championship? I had Fayetteville, Conway. So who gets it when we wake up on December 8th? Who will be the 7A state champion?
I'm going Faye.
You're going Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Man, again, it's that same conversation we have in turnovers. But hopefully, I want to see Fayetteville make history and go hit a dub.
I'm going to take the back-to-back champs. I think Fayetteville has enough, and just with the senior class having to play on the defending champion their sophomore and then have to come back as the state championship team their senior year, I just think all that knowledge and experience. And I do believe they're going to – defense wins championships. They are the best in the state in the 7A playoffs. I think that's going to be something. And I do think they will make that last play to repeat as a state champ. So we're going to go with Fayetteville, 6A state champion. Who we got?
We don't even have to talk about this.
Greenwood.
Yeah.
So we're getting the Bulldogs to win the 7 and 6A.
Yeah.
Fayetteville and then Greenwood. 5A, do we really need to talk about that one?
I'm going to say Parkview.
I'm going to go Parkview.
Yeah.
We're going to go Patriots. And then the last.
I thought we just picked the game.
Yeah. I got them playing Farmington in the championship.
Yeah. Then give me that 4A state champion. Who gets that one?
Elkins. I think
the Elks finally get it done. It's going to be a happy day. And they're just, from where I stay, my home is only about 15-minute drive. So I might hear people from Elkins hollering all the way down the street, but I'm going to take the Elkins Elk. And if you notice, how many teams? You got 2 teams in the area?
That'd be 3
to come back.
Farmington and Elkins.
And Greenwood.
and Greenwood.
So you're
and
talking
these
about a
college
lot of
locations
the
in Northwest Arkansas. in the
Northwest Arkansas
championship.
River Valley will
And
be a
then,
dominant football.
we don't talk about 3A, 2A, but Perry Grove's pretty good in the
Yes,
3A.
yes.
West Fork's in the 3A
Yes.
playoffs. There's a lot. Gentry's in there.
Yes.
Gravis in the 4A. I mean, it's a lot of teams in this area that are either 8-2, 9-1, and they can really make some noise. So please get out this Friday if they're playing and go support the Forks fellas.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and then we got to come back because I'm winning this whole deal. We're going to get into these SEC picks and see if we can't continue to have me as the leader. It's on the hill. It's talking season live from CMAC Southern Kitchen. We'll be back.
Sure. What was the biggest difference for other than just making shots? What was the biggest difference for the offense first half to second half when you
First
guys were
half,
able?
I think we was more aggressive. We were attacking the ball, attack the ball, pass. We're kind of including each other a little bit more than the first half. And I would say that was the main reason. We got this result in the end.
You guys have struggled to shoot threes, exhibition games, first couple. How good did it feel? 8 of 12 in the second half, I guess 10 of 23. How good did it feel to have, and you were 5 of 6, how good did it feel to have a good 3-point shooting night?
Well, it felt amazing. After a while, we started hitting some. Felt pretty good. But, yeah, that's still not, what we want. We need to make more, everybody else. But, we'll just keep working on it.
I think you were only up by 3, and then you guys went on like a big run to get it out to 17. You hit some threes. The Arrow hit a 3. Yeah. I think Boogie hit a 3.
Boogie hit 1 too, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think was the key to that, getting that kind of separation?
First of all, I would say we played, pretty good defense. When you play good defense and then when you start running, you get, you start to elevate. Playing better. You make one transition, then, you play good defense again, you're running again, make another, defense kept us going.
Speaking of which, defensively, it looks like you're credited with 5 blocks and 3 steals. I guess throughout the offseason, just would you work on defensively to be able to have a night like this?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, I guess offseason, did you work on anything particularly that allowed you to have a night like this tonight?
Yeah. I worked on, getting lower, getting more aggressive, not being late all the time. But, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you guys forced 12 turnovers in the first half, and you held Troy to 11 field goals, but you still went into halftime trailing. Just what were the biggest, I guess, things you wanted to improve on offensively in the first half, and how did you guys kind of change that in the second?
Offensively, that we need to work on was probably include each other more. Pass, drive, kick back, pass, drive, find open man, lob or whatever. I would say that's the main thing. But, we play good defense, and, from good defense comes everything else.
First time you didn't start tonight, do you feel more comfortable coming off the bench, or you're more comfortable being in the starting 5?
Me personally, I feel more comfortable coming out of bench. I don't know.
Why is that? That's what your role's been, or
it's talking season. We're at 2190 MLK Boulevard here at CMAC Southern Kitchen, where the food is made Southern at heart, and it is just that good. And once again, before we get into our SEC picks, is you'll come into any of the 4 locations of CMAC Southern Kitchen and let them know you heard this mention about a 25% discount. You heard it on the Hill Media. They will take care of your 25% discount for your food when you come in. Now, SEC. SEC, because it does mean more. When you look at it, guys, there's about 4 or 5 really important football games with a lot of meat on the bone when we wake up on Saturday morning. Let's get into the picks.
Yeah, we'll start with this week is a mixture. Got a couple cream puffs, and then we got
sweet tooth games.
Yeah, then we got a little appetizer, and then we got a couple main courses. We'll start with New Mexico State at Texas A&M.
D, who you got?
Man, I'm going Aggies.
Aggies
all the way.
All right.
We got Murray State at Kentucky.
D.
I'm going Kentucky.
I'm going to go Wildcats.
Same here.
All right.
We got Mercer, against Bama.
I hope Alabama give them mercy
Yeah.
in that game.
Absolutely. I'm going to go Bama.
All right, I'm the same here.
Hey, that game, they might have to call the National Guard in.
Yeah, I mean, or at least do a running clock. I don't know. As soon as they kick the ball off, running clock. I would say this is probably the most competitive out of the Cream Puff games. We got Louisiana Monroe versus Auburn.
Boy, that's bad on bad. I just keep it real.
I mean, that's why. I mean, Auburn could lose this game.
That's bad on bad.
I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
I'll stay in the Plains and I'll pick Auburn just because they should be better, talent-wise.
You gotta keep it SEC.
Okay.
It's disrespectful if you didn't go.
Yeah, I know. So we'll rank these next ones. We'll go LSU at Florida.
This one is tricky. I think with DJ Lagway coming back, that's real big, and I'm going to go Florida. I'm going to take Florida.
Wait. He's coming back?
Lagway will be there on Saturday. He has been cleared to play.
That ain't
So,
enough.
I don't know.
I think his ability to run the football, I think I'll go with them.
The Georgia-Florida game changed when he got hurt.
Yes, it did.
And
Yes,
it was
did.
really trending Florida's way.
Yes, it was.
While he was playing. So,
Yes.
I mean,
I'm going Florida.
I'm going Florida on that one.
D, where you going?
Florida and LSU?
It's at the Swamp. If
Are you
Lagway playing, I'm going
Man,
Florida.
I get you, but I get it. They lost.
You going
I'm
Florida?
going LSU.
Ooh, going LSU.
You crazy.
Who's the next one?
We got old Mizzou at South Carolina.
Don't even ask me. You already know which way
I'm going South Carolina.
Me too.
I think they starting to get they business
South
together.
Kakalaka. That's who I'm going with. Yes.
Y'all
And
are
hey, we
going
know
there.
there's going to be a team from Columbia that will win that game.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be the ones in South Carolina. that
Now,
gets it.
is Missouri quarterback playing?
No.
Cook's not playing?
No.
Oh, South Carolina. Never mind. Because South Carolina's, they're one of those Dr.
Yes.
Jekyll,
And they're not, and we all know that Missouri's another one of those teams that they have trouble stopping a very good rushing team, as evidenced by their
Rocky
two
looked really
lopsided
good last
road
week.
losses. And this game will be on the road. So, yeah, we'll take South Carolina.
Rocky looked really good last week.
Yes, he did.
Against A&M. So we'll go Texas at Arkansas. Are you going to do it, Pat? You going to pull? I'm going to let you pick first.
I'm going to go.
Man, you about to pick Texas.
I'm going to go
and
Texas.
Arkansas.
I'm going to go
That's
Texas
crazy.
35-21. I'm going to go 34-24 Texas.
Okay.
Hoping I'm wrong in this one. This is the one I hope I lose. And I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Texas 34-24. Demetrius?
I'm going Texas. Man, I think they open a can of watch your mouth. Ooh.
That bad?
Ooh. I think so, bro. It's because they have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Anytime Arkansas has really came up against a veteran
Have
quarterback
struggled.
or somebody
You're
that
right.
has experience, man, it's been ugly. It's been ugly.
Aaron?
Man, this is tough. I guess we're going.
No.
Don't let your heart get in the way,
no,
dog.
no.
Don't
I need
do
what you
it.
said. I need what you said
Don't
off
let your
air.
heart get in
I
the
need
way,
what you tell
dog.
me what tell the folks what you said off air, man.
I think this go round with it being Texas, and I mean it's gonna be one of those games where Arkansas plays up. I think.
Okay.
I think they'll be ready.
You calling for the upset. You calling for the upset.
And I think Texas is gonna be
what it sound
overlooking
like, Pat.
Arkansas again.
You
As
calling for the
much-
upset.
I'm calling for 27.
Oh, he's done it.
27, 20, 27, 24.
He's done it.
Somebody had to do it, Pat.
27, 24. I'm calling it.
So you notice out of our high school and college picks, each one of us did step out against the grain and pick an
got one of
upset or a
those feelings,
surprising victory that the other two didn't think. But, hey, we want to thank our man, A.
Oh, we got one more. One more.
Oh, yeah, we sure do.
The game day and then
Almost
game
forgot
day
about
game
that
is
one.
Tennessee at Georgia.
If Nico doesn't play, I'm going with the Bulldogs of Georgia. They got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think them getting slighted. I mean, look at it, guys. They're 2 road games, 2 losses by playoff teams, and you go from 5 to 12. That's a joke. It's on the road. Nobody's had a tougher road schedule in the SEC than Georgia.
Yeah.
So I think, but I do think Georgia gets it done. I think I'm gonna take the Bulldogs.
I think Georgia has to get it done if they even want
they ain't
to
got no
consider their conversation in that playoffs. They have to win this game because I think it will be an opportunity after those bowl games and after those championship weekend, I think there may be an opportunity for them to slide somewhere in that 11 or 12 spot to make their way into the playoffs.
For me, this game's gonna be reminiscent. You remember that time where we beat A&M, and we came. The very next game was game day at Georgia.
Yes.
And Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we already know what happened.
That's what's gonna happen Saturday. Georgia. I mean, it's about to be a spanking.
Hey, yeah, real quick, Arkansas men, 65-49 winners last night. I'm telling you, people, be patient. Be real patient. This team is going to be all right. They're working their way in. Joseph Adu and Trevor Brazile both out. Didn't play the second half. But this team, I think the one thing that you can hang your hat on, I think going forward, they're going to be a hell of a defensive team. Mm-hmm. This team will lock you up. Yeah. And they have a lot of shooters. The shooting will come, but you know, they always say defense travels. Defense always comes with you. And if you can stay on the defensive side, and we've seen what they can do in transition. But
and Pat, going on to that game, make sure y'all go check out the article. I'm uploading it now. It'll be a recap about last night's game. It'll have some stats and a couple of quotes from the press conference. So if you have time, make sure to go on onthehill.com and check out the blog about last night's game.
Hey, there you have. We want to thank our sponsors, CMAC Southern Kitchen, Lindsay and Associates, First Choice Protection Systems, and Fayetteville Glass. Once again, guys, if you're out and about, any of the 4 locations, that's here at 2190 MLK, 7420 West Sunset in Tawnytown, 909 South Thompson and Springdale, or right off of Highway 412 in Siloam Springs. If you'll go in and tell the people at the front that you heard an advertisement for 25% off, you heard it on the Hill Media, they will take care of it. I swear to you. Go get some of that good food, because I'm about to get me some, because I just watched what these guys did. Hey, that's going to do it for our week. We'll be back on Monday, because I'm sure we're going to have a whole bunch to talk about. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. Now I got to throw one in before we get out of here. I got an NFL pick. I got one. I got to throw this one in here. One you got to throw in.
What they going to do this Sunday?
Kansas City and the Buffalo Bills, guys.
Oh, here he goes.
Where we going this week?
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo.
Where we going this week?
Hey, there's a bunch of big games this week.
I just need one. I just need one.
Whoa. You know I got one coming.
Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
You already know us.
Let's throw that in there.
We ain't ready. They not ready.
You going Ravens?
They not ready.
You going Chiefs?
I'm going Bills.
I like that. Where you going?
Bills.
Ravens, Steelers.
Oh, Ravens, my boy Lamar.
Chiefs. That's ridiculous. I tell you what, I'm gonna go Ravens, and then guess what, guys? The old school Miami Dolphins will have an opportunity to pop the cork and remain the only NFL team of history. The Buffalo Bills will win this game. Yep. They will win this game. But that's going to do it. We're going to get out of here.
One more thing. Guys, y'all make sure y'all check out the Rag Report. I'm started shooting out a bunch of little basketball things for the 7A West. A couple of players to look out for.
Talk about basketball coming up.
Next Thursday, be ready, because I have my little list together as we talk playoffs a little bit here. As those games shorten up, we start digging into this 7A West, because there's some things, there's some people moving, some people coming. Yeah. It's about to be crazy. So be ready for this basketball season in the 7A West.
On the Hill, live. It's talking season. And you know what I say. Let's get it. Holla.